We are so lucky here. Brent mentioned them. He said, look, go and have a look. I'm not, he was pretty confident that we'd find them, but I didn't know. I've never been into this area, and here they are. Just so special. No, I mean, this is just too frighteningly wonderful. His mum giving a little bit of discipline there, along with licks, a number of bites. I mean, those teeth are terrifying. We were watching the two lionesses before you came to see these little cubs, and they were just being so affectionate with each other. And it's so impossible to imagine when you see them behaving in such a sort of house-cattish manner that they could be these terrifying killers. But that changes in a second when you hear them growl or you see them open their mouths. While you're looking at that one there, and I don't think you should look at anything else, the other lioness is lying on the rocks, got 3 or 4 cubs jumping on her. I mean, it really is. It's very special, this tail being played with. There's definitely going to be trouble here. Yeah, Rita, you say the lioness looks exhausted. I often think they do, but I often think that that's our human perspective being put onto them. I'm sure they do get tired having all these cubs around, but remember, they're unable to show any facial expression other than anger when they lift their or snarl or when they put their ears back. So when they're just sitting but normally with their mouths closed and their ears forward, we don't know if they're tired or hungry or sad or what they are. But I think that the thought we know how difficult one human child is to sort of raise. The thought of 9 is just almost impossible to contemplate, and I think that makes it almost tiring to watch 9 youngsters being raised by just 2 mums. Certainly, I have 2 nephews, and they've given their parents more than their fair share of sleepless nights. I can just imagine my brother and sister-in-law trying to raise 9, Jack and Williams, and it would be an absolute nightmare. We've definitely got at least 1 male. I mean, the ratio should be 4 or 5 of one or the other. And the reason I think that there might be, normally of course lion cubs introduce the pride at about 6 months. Not 6 months, 6 weeks. The reason I think they're a bit younger here is that this is the actual den site. And this is where their mothers gave birth to them, apparently. So I think we've been very lucky to catch them at this age. And it's at that point that the males will chase them out. Not because the males necessarily have any insight into the trials and tribulations of incest, but because they don't want to have the competition. And so that's how lion society has made things work. And with the leopards, for example, males normally disperse quite a long way from their mother's territories. Ferg, the one stalking up now, has got himself covered in mud. He's obviously quite adventurous. He or she. Look at the stalking already at this age. Sean, you're wondering if lions protect each other during the birthing process. So, when these lionesses were giving birth, were the others standing around in protection? Almost certainly not. They are not the most, although they're tremendously affectionate with each other sometimes, they do not look after each other in anything like the same way that wild dogs or wolves would look after each other. So, if one was giving birth and a big marauding male lion or massive clan of hyenas came bungling in, they would defend it they would defend her to the same extent that they might defend a kill. So it wouldn't be, not to the extent of injuring themselves, and there wouldn't have been anybody sort of sitting guard while she gave birth. Yeah, I've spotted at least 2 males now. Those two, yes, that you're watching there are males, I think. This is just great stuff. Listen to them complaining. I wonder where the other lioness is. Maybe she's gone off hunting. These cubs are too young to go to a kill now, so when the lionesses leave, they will go off back into. I've never seen a lion suckling like that, like a little impala. When the lionesses leave, the cubs will go back into the hole in the rocks here. We've got a Cape turtle dove in the background, or ringneck dove calling. Bit of wind blowing. A wind very seldom stops for any length of time in this area. But them playing here is just too precious. Almost with no sort of thinking about the consequences of what they're doing. Just falling over each other. Perhaps in the knowledge that they're not big or nasty enough to actually do any real damage just yet. Eating bits of grass, testing little bits now. And I'm sure as the wind starts to blow, I think they're enjoying the warmth coming off this rock. Oh no, that's too sweet. They have the perfect little hidey hole here, safe in the rocks from any other predators, bit of water for them to drink, nice and warm when it gets chilly at night. And of course the warmth of 9 little cubs sitting next to each other in a sort of carpet must be very special on a cold night. They really do look like teddy bears at this stage of their lives. And unfortunately they do grow up so fast. One or two have found the excesses of the afternoon slightly too exhausting and they've started to close their eyes and go back to sleep. Mums have also sort of shut their eyes. I predict what is going to happen here is that they will wait for pretty much until it's pitch black before possibly going off on the hunt. But because the cubs are here, you might find they even wait longer than that and don't go on the hunt at all until much later. But we'll wait and see. I think it's much easier. It's been noticeably easier for the 2 lionesses since the 3rd one arrived. They're all sharing the duties now. Also, the cubs are getting a little bit tired, and so they're starting to go to sleep. I mean, it is a once-in-a-lifetime experience to come and see something like this live, but you've got the next best thing. You're watching it as it's happening, as it's unfolding right now in the Masai Mara, and of course the hunting going on in the Kruger National Park, all completely live, which means it's just about the same as being here. Not quite, but just about. Roshni says, like somebody put a smile on the cub's face. I must say, I agree with you. I think that the cubs do look a lot more cheerful than their mothers and their aunts. I think that all adults, all the adult lions tend to look a little bit serious about life. It's very difficult to take a cub seriously even when it's growling. Oh, this is precious. Just like little kids, they want to be involved with everything. What are you drinking now? Okay, why? Why are you drinking that? Can I have some? I don't like this, and I want something else that I like. What do you feel like? I don't know. Something nice. That's what's going on here. I think the oldest ones are probably 6 weeks, I did say 8 weeks, maybe up to 8 weeks old. So yes, they would certainly be eating bits and pieces of meat. And then in theory, they should be completely weaned by 6 months. Oh, look at that.